Hello, Huge Movie Fanatic Nate coming at you for yet again another movie review. Today I'm coming at you to review a movie by the name of Jack Reacher. Ah crap, what's the title called? Was it Never Go Back? Which I don't understand what that means, but whatever. I think it's basically Jack Reacher 2, but I think it's Jack Reacher Never Go Back, I think. I always want to say Never Look Back, but I think it's Never Go Back, but we'll just whatever, it's Jack Reacher 2. So back when Jack Reacher came out, I was just like, what the hell is this? And I was like, whatever. And apparently it was based on I reviewed the first movie, check out my review of the first movie, based on some book or something like that, I don't know. But regardless, back in the day, I actually blind bought the Blu-ray of Jack Reacher, and I didn't regret it. I was I just had this feeling that Jack Reacher was going to be good, and I was pleasantly surprised. And it was a kind of a cool, low-key Tom Cruise venture with some really, he's a kind of a badass character, and I think I haven't seen it for a while, the original for a while, but I remember the end being really cool, taking place at some, I don't know, whatever, big, huge, I don't know what the hell it was, this location where the sniper was involved, and sniper rifle, and he had some guy helping him out with the sniper rifle and stuff. But the end of the first movie I thought was, and not only the end, but in particular the end of the first movie I can remember being really great, and the sound design being really great in 5.1 and stuff. So I almost saw this at a second run theater, Jack Reacher Never Go Back, but then I couldn't drag myself to it. Long story short, I saw Jack Reacher Never Go Back recently, and unfortunately, I had been saying for years and years and years and years that in my opinion Tom Cruise was on this just unbeatable winning streak where it was just like great, maybe not great in the sense of great movie, but great for nowadays great movie streak, where it was just like, I can't remember where it really started, if it was like Night and Day or I don't know, Mission Impossible 3, I don't know, it seemed like Night and Day and a lot of stuff from there on out, stuff that he was the star of, not this bullshit that he did these comedies where he was like a just this really small player or whatever. I mean, like Tom Cruise star power, him being the main guy kind of thing. So in my opinion, like with Night and Day and Oblivion and not Day After Tomorrow, was that one that they like changed the title when they put it on a home video. I can't even remember what the title is because they changed it. I'll put the title on the screen. I can't even remember. The Edge of Tomorrow, I think is what it was called. And then Mission Impossible 4 and 5 and long story short, all this stuff he was doing, in my opinion, was just really kind of some of the best stuff coming out of Hollywood. And then the news like last year came out that he was like doing Jack Reacher 2, and I was just like, what? It just seemed so, like, in my opinion, I didn't think the first one did enough business for them to warrant a sequel, first of all, and second of all, even if it did, who wants to see Jack Reacher 2? But long story short, they made it, it came out, and like no one saw it, I don't think. So hopefully, with any luck, there won't be a Jack Reacher 3. I don't remember the first one being too much heavily surrounded, the plot being too much surrounding the military. I can't remember. I can't imagine it did, but unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of military. Any military in my opinion is just bad, evil, not a good thing. And this movie is just nothing but it's just a military movie. It's about a military. To be honest, a lot of this movie, I'm not really good on a first viewing. I only saw this once. Catching all of the facts the first time through, particularly if a lot of the details of the movie are simply spoken. I'm more of like to see things unfold kind of a guy, as I've said many, many times before in reviews gone by. This movie is, the plot of this movie is very heavily, if not the majority of it, just basically just spoken. Like things are spoken, the whole what's going on is spoken, and then they got, they're talking about people's names, and I can't remember people's names, and they're talking about people's names of characters we haven't even ever seen until the end of the movie, and it's just like whatever. So I don't even fully know what the fuck this is completely about. It's like this character, this woman who's Tom Cruise starts the movie being interested in, some major at some military outfit like ends up being thrown in jail because two people supposedly got killed in Afghanistan and shit. All I know is that at the end of the day, this movie has to do with this bad guy in the military who's like, was he smuggling opium into, returning into the U.S. into weapons that are supposedly coming back from Afghanistan. And this whole movie plays like there's this one bad guy who's smuggling, in this, this otherwise good military who's doing this bad shit. When in fact it's just the military in general who's doing all the, growing the opium and bringing it into the country and shit. So this movie makes it look like it's just this one bad guy and then, otherwise good military, but that's another story. So one thing I hated about this movie is this basically just military movie. It's about this military woman who's like wrongfully accused. I can't remember what the fuck the death of these two people has to do with anything about the movie, but then Jack Reacher goes into, break her out of jail in a kind of a cool and impossible scenario. And I mean, I guess Tom Cruise is kind of cool in this character. I don't remember him being as cool as I kind of thought he was in the first Jack Reacher movie. But to me, this is like the first Tom Cruise movie in a long time, if maybe ever, that just felt like almost a parody. Like he was being in a parody action movie so much of the stuff in the movie was stuff that we've seen just over and over and over and over. And it was just like, oh my gosh, is this really only this good? I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It was just rehash and just shit. And the scenes that were, I don't know, regarded as more action scenes or whatever, just in my opinion, just fall flat. And it's like, oh my gosh. The best thing about this movie is this plot point about this like 15-year-old girl that comes into it, where this one character who we never see, this woman basically is filing some kind of whatever against Jack Reacher because, or whatever, because she thinks that Jack Reacher is the father of this 15-year-old girl. And that's kind of the best part of this movie, actually, him, and the bad guys want to kill her because of fucking, I can't, to get to Reacher, I guess, soft spot. And they're on the run, so him and this woman he rescues out of jail, which could never happen, but whatever, and then they get this 15-year-old girl. They're on the run, and they want to prove that this one bad guy in the military is doing this bad stuff. Like, at first they think that he's selling off weapons, whatever, and to like the enemy, but it turns out I think he's smuggling opium or whatever back into the United States, into these weapons or whatever. I mean, just plot points that are just so stupid and whatever. There's this bad guy, this ex-military bad guy who's just so bad, and he's on Jack Reacher's trail. He's always just one step away from whatever. Long story short, I mean, Tom Cruise produced this movie too, and it's just like, I don't know. I'm just really disappointed in obviously you can't, I don't know, do nothing but hits and hits and hits back forever. But so his Tom Cruise, in my opinion, his winning streak has now ended, and it doesn't look like with this upcoming Mummy that I don't expect that to be anything of any kind of very good. I don't know. If it's at the drive-in, maybe I'll see the Mummy or whatever. But and the good old, for a while there, Tom Cruise, in my opinion, was on this unkillable winning streak or unlosable winning streak, and now with Jack Reacher 2 or Never Go Back, which I don't know what the fuck that means, he lost, in my opinion. So this movie just, I'm thinking of stars. I'm gonna go 1.5 stars out of 4 stars for this movie. I don't even know if it deserves that much, but I guess Tom Cruise, I guess, was good, and I guess some of the Jack Reacher badassness shit was kind of cool, but it definitely falls flat compared to the first one. And like I say, I can't believe he did a sequel to Jack Reacher. And I think when this trailer came out, I think a lot of people were thinking the same thing, like, what? You know, maybe he just got by with the first one, but why is he doing another one? So I have no idea. But yeah, I don't think I can really say anything more about it. Just his, you know, this 15-year-old girl being in peril and stuff. You know, watching it, she's not gonna, you know, at the end the bad guy gets a hold of her in this hostage situation, and there's no worry, there's no suspense because you know she's not gonna die. So it's kind of like, I just can't believe that. Usually Tom Cruise produced movies are a lot better than this, and this just follows just this tired scenario that we've seen so many times, even in things as bad as just like Steven Seagal movies and stuff. It's just really surprising. So this review ended up going on a lot longer than I thought it would, so I apologize for that, but I think I'll end it here, because the more I talk and think about it, the more it's just like, what the hell? Where did Tom go wrong? But like I say, I guess you can't maintain that winning streak forever. So it'll be interesting, quote unquote interesting, to see what the hell happens with The Mummy. That was kind of also another eyebrow raiser, like a remake of The Mummy with Tom Cruise oh my God. So like I say, if that ends up at the drive-in or whatever, I may see that. Otherwise, I'll probably wait until second run for that. And then I think after that, I think he's going to do Mission Impossible again. Those are usually actually good. So hopefully, you know, not that it matters. Hopefully, if Mummy sucks, which I imagine it will, maybe not as much as Jack Reacher 2, but maybe if that one sucks, maybe Mission Impossible. Maybe he's done being good, you know? Maybe the next Mission Impossible will be good. But at the same time, it's like he's done so much with that. What else can he do with that, you know? Anyway, thank you. If you watched all this way, thank you very much for doing so. I guess that concludes my review for this particular movie. As always, we'll catch you next time.